Of the three girls killed by Axel Rudakabana in Southport have hit out at his parents after his father told the inquiry into the attack that he should have reported his son's purchase of a machete to police. Alphonse Rudakabana says the weapon was delivered in June 2023, a year before his son went on to target the three little girls at a dance class. He said that upon hearing about the attack, which happened last July, he immediately feared his son could be involved. The parents of the girls have just issued a strongly worded statement aimed at the killer's parents. Alex and Sergio Aguiar, the parents of Alice, said this: "You as parents had a duty, a fundamental and moral duty, to guide your child, to correct harmful behaviour and to ensure that no harm would come to others because of it. That duty was not upheld. Your failure to take responsibility, to act and to intervene when there were clear signs of danger directly contributed to the devastating loss of our daughter's life." Lauren and Ben King, the parents of Bibi, said, "This week everything has come to a head as we've learned about the deeply disturbing and shameful evidence relating to the actions of his parents. We are parents too, and we take that role incredibly seriously. Where was that responsibility from his parents? They were absent. They turned away from their duties." In the last hour, I spoke to our correspondent, Katie Barfield.
Both of Axel Rudakabana's parents gave evidence to the inquiry today, and they painted a picture of a violent teenager over whom they had completely lost control. His dad, Alphonse, called him a monster and said he deeply regrets not doing more to stop him, including not confronting him over weapons he'd had delivered to the house, including a machete in 2023, which he said he hid on top of a wardrobe instead of confronting his son because he was scared of him. He said he should have called the police then, because if he had, what happened on the 29th wouldn't have happened, referring, of course, to the date of the Southport attack. And the inquiry heard Axel Rudakabana was able to amass a small arsenal of weapons, including a bow and arrow and a sledgehammer and a Tupperware containing an attempt to make the poison ricin. A week before the Southport attack, he tried to get in a taxi to go back to his old school, but was stopped by his dad, who feared he was going there to carry out an arson attack. Alphonse said his son began stabbing his bed with a kitchen knife, demanding the machete he'd hidden, and said, "Next time you stop me, there will be consequences." And Alphonse told the inquiry he was desperately sorry that he still didn't call the police, while Axel Rudakabana's mum, Letitia, said the family were distressed and broken, and they didn't report it because they were worried about Axel being taken into care or arrested. She actually began her evidence by reading out a statement to the families of the victims of the Southport attack, saying, "For our failure, we are truly sorry," while Alphonse said he was sorry he lost the courage to save their little angels. But after we'd heard the evidence from both of Axel Rudakabana's parents, we got some quite angry statements from the families of the three little girls that he killed, Bibi King, Alice De Silva Aguiar and Elsie Dot Stankham, saying they found the testimony of his parents distressing and felt compelled to say something. Elsie's parents, for instance, said, "These statements reveal a failure of parenting on a whole new level. We believe they should be held to account for what they allowed to happen. They knew how dangerous he was, yet they stayed silent. They didn't report their concerns, they didn't act. And in doing so, they failed not only as parents, but as members of our society." And the inquiry chair, Sir Adrian Fulford, said as this phase of the inquiry draws to a close, his main concern is providing answers for the victims' families.
Our principal responsibility lies to them to provide the best possible explanation as to why and how this terrible event occurred, and to be brave about suggesting the changes that ought to be made to prevent, if we can, a repetition.
Well, both of Axel Rudakabana's parents broke down in tears as they gave their evidence to the inquiry. Their son is, of course, now serving a life sentence for admitting the murders of those three little girls last year.